It was a stormy night, and my parents were out of town. The wind howled outside, rattling the windows as I sat alone in the living room, trying to distract myself with a movie. That's when I heard it. A faint scraping sound coming from downstairs. At first, I brushed it off as the house settling, but then it happened again, louder this time. My heart started racing as I realized the noise was coming from the basement. I glanced nervously at the locked door leading downstairs. My parents always warned me to stay away from there when they weren't home, but curiosity got the better of me. Carefully, I approached the basement door. It was heavy and solid, with an old-fashioned lock that required a key. I pressed my ear against it, listening intently. That's when I heard it. A faint whisper, like someone muttering to themselves on the other side. Fear gripped me, but I couldn't move. The scraping continued, accompanied now by soft, muffled footsteps. Someone, or something, was down there, and it was moving closer to the door. I bolted upstairs to my room, slamming the door shut and locking it behind me. I grabbed my phone and called my parents, but they were still hours away. Trembling, I sat on my bed, listening as the noises from the basement grew louder and more frantic. That night felt like an eternity. Every creak of the floorboards, every gust of wind made my heart skip a beat. I didn't dare leave my room until morning, when my parents finally returned. We checked the basement together, but found nothing out of the ordinary. No signs of forced entry, no disturbance, just an empty, musty cellar. But the memory of that night, of the whispering and the scraping behind the locked door, still sends chills down my spine. It was a quiet evening, and my parents had gone out for dinner, leaving me alone in the house. I was in the living room, watching TV, when the phone rang. I hesitated for a moment. Most of my friends would text, not call, but eventually, I picked up. "Hello," I said tentatively. Silence greeted me at first, then a low, raspy voice spoke. "Hello, my name." My blood ran cold. How did this person know my name? My mind raced through possibilities. Was it a prank? A wrong number? But then the voice continued, and its words sent a chill down my spine. "You're all alone, aren't you? I can see you." Panic surged through me. I slammed the phone down and ran to lock all the doors and windows. My heart pounded as I dialed 911, trying to explain what had just happened through my trembling voice. The police arrived quickly, but by then, the caller had hung up. They searched the area around the house, but found no signs of anyone lurking. They assured me they would patrol the neighborhood throughout the night. That night, I huddled in my room with all the lights on, clutching a baseball bat for protection. Every little noise outside made me jump. The sense of vulnerability, knowing someone out there knew my name, and where I was terrifying. The police never found the caller, and nothing else ever happened after that night. But I couldn't shake the feeling of being watched, of someone out there who knew too much about me. It was a calm, moonlit night, and my parents had gone out for a late dinner with friends. I was in my room, reading, when movement outside caught my eye. A shadowy figure standing in the darkness, just beyond the window. My heart skipped a beat. I froze, staring wide-eyed at the figure. It was tall and indistinct, almost like a silhouette against the night. Fear gripped me as I realized it wasn't moving, it was just watching. I slowly backed away from the window, heart pounding in my chest. I wanted to scream for help, but my voice caught in my throat. I glanced around my room, searching desperately for something, anything, to defend myself with. When I looked back at the window, the figure was gone. I crept closer, peering out cautiously. There was nothing but the quiet of the night, and the rustling of leaves in the wind. I called my parents immediately and told them what had happened. They rushed home, but by then, there was no trace of anyone outside. They reassured me it was probably just my imagination playing tricks on me. But I knew what I saw. That night, I couldn't sleep. Every shadow outside seemed like it could hide that figure, watching and waiting. I kept the curtains closed and the lights on until morning, when the sun finally rose and chased away the lingering fear. But the memory of that shadowy figure, standing outside my window and watching me, still sends shivers down my spine. One rainy afternoon, I was home alone and bored, so I decided to explore the attic of our old house. Dusty boxes and forgotten relics surrounded me as I wandered deeper into the shadows. At the far end, tucked away behind a stack of old furniture, I found a door I had never noticed before. Curiosity tinged with excitement, I opened it cautiously, revealing a room untouched by time. The air inside was thick with dust and the musty scent of decay. Cobwebs hung from the ceiling, and old, yellowed papers littered the floor. But what caught my eye were the strange symbols painted on the walls, symbols I didn't recognize from any history class or book I'd read. As I stepped farther into the room, a chill ran down my spine. It felt like I had stumbled upon something I wasn't supposed to see, something that had been hidden away for a reason. Suddenly, a noise from downstairs broke the silence, startling me. I jumped, heart racing, and turned to leave. But as I hurried out and closed the door behind me, I couldn't shake the feeling of unease that settled over me. That night, I couldn't stop thinking about the room. Who had used it? What were those symbols for? And why did it feel like there was something watching me as I explored? I tried to ask my parents about it, but they brushed it off, saying it was probably just an old storage room we hadn't used in years. But I knew better. There was something about that room, hidden away in the attic, that held secrets I wasn't meant to uncover.